Hi, my name's Cheryl McQueen, and I am here at Ontario HBOT today, and I just want to talk to you guys about what a difference it's making in my son Riley's life. Just to give you a short background, Riley is 3, he's nearly 4 years old. We got our diagnosis of autism when he was about 2 years old. And Riley's autism is profound and severe. He is currently considered nonverbal, and he's a big stimmer. He likes to flap and twirl and rock and you name it. He basically, if you look at the symptoms for autism, and he basically fits, everyone is a check mark in his box. So I began on the road of biomedical treatments about a month or two after he got diagnosed. And so, you know, you start with the diet, as most parents do, and you'll see little changes, or at least that's what I did with Riley, and we noticed changes right away. And then you follow it with more and more stuff, and it eventually leads you to the path of hyperbaric oxygen therapy. And you weigh it heavily, and you wonder, is it going to help? You hear the stories, you hear other parents' stories, you hear the naysayers, you hear it all, you take it all in, and then you just have to, at the end of the day, trust your gut, and that's what I did. You know, part of autism deals with healing with the gut, and I also think part of it has to do with trusting your gut as a parent, because that's what I did, and I took the jump, and it was kind of fate, because I remember the first day I called here, and I spoke to Lara on the phone, and she said, "Oh, we're going to be on, you know, the National tonight." And I said, "Well, I better book my slot now." And thank goodness we did, because we got to come in, you know, right away. So that's the backstory. Riley is here today, and he's with my dad actually, and I'll get back to that later because that's a very interesting sort of side note to all of this. Riley's on his 19th dive today, and the changes I have noticed with Riley have been quite amazing so far. They all seem to stem in the cognitive and awareness and socialization. I thought his eye contact had improved dramatically on biomedicals, but after about a week of doing hyperbarics, not only does he give me eye contact, but he initiates eye contact with me. So, for example, whereas before I would have to say his name and kind of get his attention, and then he was glued into me, now he comes up to me, he puts his hands on my cheek, he rests his forehead on mine, and he kisses me. Little things like that, which as a parent with autism, you all know is like huge. That's like, you know, like the credit card commercial says, that's priceless. My other son, Liam, who is a year older than Riley, he says to me now, "Riley knows who I am," because he does the same thing with Liam. My husband and I just about a week ago sat in our bathroom watching our 2 sons in the bathtub, and they were playing. They were interacting with each other. My son Liam would slide down the tub and splash, and Riley was laughing at him. He wasn't staring at the wall and acting as though Liam didn't exist. And then he would ask him to do it again by gesturing him, by grabbing his hand and pointing towards the wall, and my son would do it again, and Riley would laugh. And Cam and I, my husband, just sat there, and both of us had tears streaming down our face, because these are the kinds of things that we're noticing since we've started hyperbarics. I can't even, there's just so many little things. He is trying to talk more. Yeah, he's still nonverbal. Yes, he still stims, but the things that I'm seeing are things that I don't think I can teach him, and I'm just so happy that we started this journey and started hyperbarics. And I just want to say to anybody who's watching this, trust your gut, listen to what your heart is telling you, and do what you think is best for your son or daughter or whoever it is that you're looking for help for, because at the end of the day, you have to do what you think is right, and that will lead you in the proper path. And going back, my dad is also here, which is kind of a little cool sort of aspect to this as well, because when we first started doing our dives, I was chatting with the owner here, and she mentioned something about Parkinson's disease. And I said, "Oh, you use HBOT for Parkinson's?" And she said, "Oh, yeah." I said, "Well, my dad has Parkinson's disease. He's had it for 10 years. And she said, "Well, why isn't he diving with your son?" And I said, "I don't know." So I brought my dad in, and funny enough, my dad is the biggest skeptic on the market. Like, he's a skeptic about everything. Even if there's proof, he's a skeptic. So he came and was suffering from some swelling in his legs, and he went for one dive with my son. And when we got home that night, I dropped him off, and he walked into my mom's house and he said, "Suzanne," that's my mom, and he said, "Look at my legs." And she said, "Oh my God, the swelling's gone." And he said, "I can't believe it. I can't believe it." I said, "See, Dad?" He goes, "I can't attribute that to anything except for H-bot." I said, "Well, of course it's the H-bot." And basically, he's been coming ever since. He hasn't done those big up and down things every day when I drop him off at home, but I know my dad, and he would not be coming here every day, taking the hour-and-a-half trip through the heat and the traffic if it wasn't helping him. So I had no idea that by going on this journey I'd also be able to possibly help my dad, but I'm so grateful that I'm here and that my dad and my son are here, and they have a new bond too because of it all. So that's my story. I could talk forever. Just trust yourself. Signing off.